So, you're thinking about building a website. But let's be honest, it can feel a little overwhelming, right? It's like someone just gave you a huge pile of stones and said, go on, build a castle, but they forgot to give you the blueprint. Where do you even start?
That's the number one question, isn't it? You've got the great idea, you've got the passion for your business, but then you hit that technical side of things, and it feels like this giant, impossible wall. Well, don't worry. We're about to hand you the map.
Okay, here it is, your blueprint. We're going to start with the foundation, that first big decision. Then we'll build the essential rooms. After that, we'll make sure to secure the whole thing. And finally, we'll even plan for some future expansion. By the end of this, you're going to have a super clear plan to build that digital castle of yours.
Every single website journey starts right here with this one choice. And honestly, it's the most fundamental decision you're going to make because it determines pretty much everything that comes after. So the question is, are you going to use a sort of prefabricated kit or are you going to forge every single brick yourself?
This chart lays out the trade-offs so clearly. See, on one side, you've got website builders. They're incredibly easy to use, super fast to get up and running, but you are a little limited by the platform's tools. Now, on the other side, coding from scratch gives you total, complete freedom, but it requires technical skills and a whole lot more time. It really just comes down to what you value most right now, speed and simplicity, or all-out power and control.
So, when is a website builder the right call? Well, it's pretty much perfect if you're not a coder and you need something functional, like yesterday. We're talking about simpler sites, maybe a portfolio to show off your work, a personal blog, or a basic page for your business. The main goal here is getting it done fast and skipping that steep learning curve. But what if you need something a little more complex? If you've got some coding experience under your belt, or if you're dreaming up a totally unique web app with custom features, then coding is definitely your path. Yeah, it's slower, but there are absolutely no limitations. You own everything and you can build the exact thing you're picturing in your head. All right, with that foundation chosen, it's time to actually frame out the essential rooms of your digital castle. These are the core pages that every single website needs to be functional from day one.
Think of these as your Phase 1 essentials, basically your website starter pack. You need a front entrance, a way to tell people who you are, a way for them to actually reach you, a showcase for what you're offering, and of course, the necessary legal stuff. Let's take a quick look at each one.
Your homepage is so much more than just a welcome mat. It's a signpost. It needs to have a single primary goal. So you have to ask yourself, what is the number one thing I want someone to do when they land here? Is it to sign up for a newsletter, call for a quote, maybe buy a product? You need to decide on that one thing and build the entire page around driving people to do it.
Now, the About page. This is where you build trust. Why? Because people do business with other people. Putting a photo of yourself up there and stating your mission makes you relatable. Describing who your ideal clients are shows them that you get it, you understand their needs. And of course, listing your credentials proves you can deliver. This page is your big chance to make a real human connection.
This is such a simple but really powerful point. A contact page that just has a form can feel a bit anonymous, you know? To really build credibility, you want to list a real email, a phone number, and if you can, a mailing address. It just sends a clear signal to visitors that you're a legitimate operation.
Next up, you've got to show people what you offer. So, are you selling products? These are things like digital courses or group programs. Or are you offering services like one-on-one consulting or custom design work? You might have one or you might have both, but you absolutely need a dedicated page to clearly spell out the value you provide. And finally, the page that everybody forgets but absolutely needs, the privacy policy. Seriously, this isn't optional. With data privacy laws all over the world, you are legally required to explain how you collect and manage user data. But hey, the good news? Many platforms have generators that can help you create a basic one just to get started.
Okay, the main structure is built, but a castle with no guards is just a fancy target, right? Security is not an add-on you worry about later. It's a critical part of the initial build. So it's time to lock that front door and fortify the walls.
I love this quote from Ben Monroe because it just perfectly captures the stakes. A single security breach can destroy your reputation, and honestly, neglecting the basics is just asking for trouble.
If you need just one reason to take security seriously, here it is. 99%. Multi-factor authentication, you know that little code you get on your phone when you log in? It blocks over 99% of automated hacking attempts. That is huge. It's one of the single most effective things you can do.
So here's your security checklist. These are the non-negotiables. First, please, don't use admin as your username.
Second, make sure you have that little padlock, the HTTPS, in the browser bar. Third, enable MFA, which we just saw is crazy effective. And finally, always keep your software updated. That's how you patch those security holes.
Your core website is now built and it's secured. That is fantastic. But, a website isn't a static monument. It's a living, breathing thing that should grow with your business. So let's look at the next phase of construction.
So once you have the essentials in place, it's time for phase 2. And 2 of the most powerful additions you can make are a testimonials page and a blog. Testimonials give you that crucial social proof, showing potential customers that you actually deliver results. And a blog? Well, that lets you share your expertise, building your authority and attracting new visitors by answering the exact questions they're already typing into search engines.
Woof! We have covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From laying that very first foundation to planning for future expansion. We've basically turned that confusing pile of stones into a clear, actionable blueprint for your very own digital kingdom.
So let's just boil it all down to a simple 3-stage process. First, you choose your foundation, the user-friendly builder or coding from scratch. Second, you build your 5 essential pages. And third, you secure your site from day one. That's it. That's the core blueprint.
So the plan is officially in your hands now. You know the steps, you know the choices you have to make, and you know how to protect your hard work. The only question left is, what's going to be your first move? Are you going to go choose your domain name? Or maybe start sketching out that homepage? The first stone is just waiting for you to lay it.